Hi everyone, this is Sig Suarez and welcome to another episode of Watch Manila. Today, we are going to take a look at the Argos Asteri. Argos is a Filipino watchmaking company founded by young men led by Ivan Soberano, and Asteri is their second model, which is Greek for stars. According to Argos, this Asteri is their guiding light to making sure that the Philippine watchmaking industry continues to develop. And we're going to review the watch and take a look at its features and how it wears. Now, the Asteri comes in with three different dial options: the Midnight Blue, the Sunlight White, and the Forest Green, which we have right now. Now, the Forest Green reflects the Sierra Madre Mountains. Now, before we go further, let's go and unbox the watch first. Time to unbox Argos. So, this comes in a neat green box. If you remove the cover, there is a quick introduction that the watch has been designed and assembled in the Philippines. You remove this one and you get to see everything. This is the Argos cleaning cloth. This is the NATO strap matching with the watch. This is how you remove the bracelet and put on the NATO strap. That's a tool. These are the extra links. And this one, the paperworks. So you go here, you get to see how you wind up the mainspring, and this one, setting the time. You go to this one, the other one, you got the guarantee card, and you have the proper care card. Now this is something neat here. You open this one up, you get a certificate of authenticity. Now this is the watch itself. Okay, what we have here, as I mentioned, is the forest green version. And the forest green symbolizes the Sierra Madre Mountains. And this one has a 39 mm diameter, 20 mm spaces between the lugs. It is made out of 316L steel, 4 layers of anti-reflective coating, and the bracelet itself is a point of discussion. So now let's go with the visuals first before I go to the bracelet. If you take a look at it, the forest green look is actually quite pleasing to the eyes. So there's a textured green dial. It looks like grass if you look at it closer. It has a very clean dial configuration. You have a 24-hour numbering inside, which is color orange, and there's also an orange tip at the seconds hand for a nicer touch. Now, I'm a fan of neat dials, and this one is actually very neat, something which I like, and no date, which is another point of contention for a lot of people. But this one, I believe, looks good without the date. Now we go to the bracelet. So the bracelet is a 5-link bracelet with an alternating polished and brushed steel. So the clasp features this micro adjustment. If you do this, it should go there and could be tightened, and you just slide it. Very easy to operate and especially helpful when it's a little hot or when the weather gets a little cooler, you need to tighten it a bit. The bracelet has a quick change mechanism. So if you take a look at the bottom part, there's a pull tab mechanism here, which I will demonstrate to you. The pull tabs isn't the easiest or the friendliest to operate, but when you're used to it, it's something which you can operate, and you can easily replace the bracelet with a strap. So this watch comes with spring bars and a NATO strap which matches the color of the dial. So this one is green. There is a green NATO strap with it, and it looks good actually with a NATO strap. Now we go to the case itself. For me, the case is a bit chubby. I think we can trim the fat somewhere here. Now let's go to the case back. At the case back, you're going to see a mountain here, which I think represents the Sierra Madre Mountains. Now for the movement inside, you get a Japan-made NH38A automatic movement which has a 41-hour power reserve. So that's a really decent movement, robust movement, and it is actually reliable. Let's go to the things which I like about this watch. Number one, the dial. The dial is clean. As I mentioned, there's no date. I like the texture on the dial, the green texture on it. I like the orange highlights, the one with the 24-hour indicator, and the one at the tip of the seconds hand. It gives a good contrast. Still on the dial, it is very, very luminous. So the hour markers and the hour hand, the minute hand, they're all illuminated at night properly. So I'll show you a night shot to see how well it's lit. The next thing which I like is the size. It's a 39mm watch, and the important part of this is the overhang here. So it's just actually very perfect for my wrist. And it will wear pretty well with a lot of wrist sizes. So this one looks really good. So even if it's a bit thick, it wears really good. That's the saving grace of the size, because the case thickness, in my opinion, could still be lessened so that it will look nicer on the wrist. Another thing which I like is the bracelet, because you can easily swap it out for a strap, and at the same time there is also a micro adjustment at the clasp where you can move it just to make it perfect for your wrist. Now, what's on my wish list? What are the things I would like to see improved on this watch? Well, to start with, the weight of the watch is something which I hope they could improve on. The case itself is a bit hefty. It's a bit heavy and you will feel it, but it's not really bothersome. You just feel it if you observe it, and it's something which I think they could improve on. So the bracelet is not that heavy, and then you have this case proper which it's really heavy, and you get to feel it, but it's not that bothersome. Second is the length of the clasp. I know that they did this so that you could put a micro adjustment here, and that slide mechanism, that's a good touch. If they can make it a bit shorter, that would be perfect, because I just feel that when you wear it, the clasp here is just a bit long. Now finally, I'd also like the domed sapphire to be improved, because if you take a look at the domed sapphire, even if it has 4 layers of anti-reflective coating, there's still so much glare. It's still not as they imagined it to be. Yes, it's clean, yes, it's easy to read, but when sunlight appears or when there is a bright light hitting the watch, it's a bit challenging to read the dial. So I feel there's a better solution for this one. Maybe not a curved sapphire if that's possible. It would actually improve the readability of the watch. But other than those, I think this watch is absolutely solid. So I did ask around. I asked some of my friends and I asked them for their opinion. And pretty much they have positive opinions on this watch. But the dial is a bit controversial to the people I asked. A lot of the people I asked loved the dial, but there were some people who disliked the dial. They said that the green dial did not capture the Sierra Madre mountains. But the other people who loved it said that the texture of the dial is actually perfect. The matte dial works well with the watch. So the dial is a contentious point of this watch. It's actually good because it's a talking point. It will get people to talk about the watch. Second observation from people, they love the bracelet because the bracelet actually wraps well around your wrist. And that's something which I like too. So it sits properly there. I do wish that the weight of the bracelet matches the heft of the case itself. So what are my final thoughts? I'd actually buy this watch and I'll actually wear it. The challenge for this one is the price. currently, the SRP is at 35,999 or almost 36,000, but I saw on their website it's at 31,999 currently, so you might want to check it out while there's a better price for the watch. Now at that price, it competes with so many brands. You have Seiko, you have Tissot, the PRX, you have Citizen, and all of these brands produce good watches, including Argos, of course. The challenge that I find with most watch collectors is that they do have brand loyalties. They would say, why will I get that when I can get a Seiko, when I can get an Orient, when I can get a Tissot, Citizen, and so on and so forth. Make no mistake, this watch is actually as solid as the other brands. I can tell you that because I do have my own collection of the other brands which I've mentioned, and this one can actually fight it out and can compete. So at this stage and at this price point, it's all an emotional decision because watches above 10,000, it's really an emotional decision at this point. So the 20 to 50,000 watch range, you'd be getting similar watches. And this one is one of those which is very competitive. And all in all, I can say that Argos has come a long way. I've reviewed their first watch and I've had things to say about their first watch, and they have improved it well with this one. The thing I like about this watch is I believe it took so much inspiration from the Mark 20, which is an excellent watch because it has an easy exchange bracelet, a micro adjustment on the clasp, and a clean dial. So this one is actually a good value for money. I would recommend this watch, and I think it would be a great companion for your daily activities. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. And I'm Sig Suarez, and continue to join me watch the watches.